Hello and welcome to Roaming with the Rubes. I'm Lee, this is Joe, and we have just come back from 4 glorious nights away in a beautiful bushland setting. Joe's put the camper back up, so that means it is time to do some cleaning both in and out of the camper.
Yeah, we're going to go through all the steps that we take to get our camper ready for storage and make sure that it's nice and prepared for the next trip. There's definitely some blue jobs and some pink jobs, so I guess, Lee,
We better get to it.
into it.
Okay, well, I think these are the pink jobs Joe was referring to. For me, that would be inside the camper. So the first thing I usually do is wipe down all of the bench tops and the table. Even if I've done it where we've packed up at camp, I don't know, I find even if we've travelled on bitumen, everything's still a little dusty, so I like to wipe those down. I just use hot soapy water for that. Bit of dishwashing liquid is perfect, or a bit of disinfectant even. Okay, and the stove top, I like to do along the top. We always use the stove each time we go away, so I do like to pull all of these off, give the top a really good clean. And I find that even if we haven't used the grill, I do like to pull everything out of the grill compartment and wipe it down. It gets awfully dusty in there, and there's nothing worse than when you cook something the next time you're away and you can smell that dust. Speaking of smells in the camper, this camper's been airing out overnight and you can still smell a little bit of smoke in here.
Bit of campfire.
Yeah, but I'm truly happy to say that we did cook a curry in here while we were away, and you cannot smell the curry. It is a myth about cooking smells in campers, I reckon. Righto.
Well, after a few days anyway.
So that's the stove. The fridge, very important. If your fridge is left damp, it will go mouldy real fast. Nothing worse than packing up ready for your next trip and you're in a hurry to get off at 5 a.m. the next morning. You open the door to pack everything and it is mouldy.
Smells like old boots.
Oh, not good. So I pulled these little doobies out of the shelves. Thanks, Joe. Doobies out of the door. Clean all those. Wipe all the racks. Very important that you clean the freezer compartment out. Even if you've not used it, it will get damp in there.
Now, have a lot of water, actually. It's amazing how quickly it starts to freeze up, and there's always a big puddle of water in the freezer.
Yeah.
So don't forget it.
We leave the freezer door open, the fridge door open till everything's nice and dry. Then to getting ready to stow the camper, rather than close your fridge right up, there is a little catch there. You just turn that around and shut your door to that point, and your fridge will be open just that little bit to let a bit of air in there. Also, once I have washed it out with hot soapy water, a little bit of vanilla spray just to make it smell a bit fresher is always good. Now, the sink as well, I often bring out the Jif or Gumption or whatever and give the sink a really nice clean. But I also like to, and I'll do it now, pour boiling water or really hot water, a whole jug full, just down there to clean out any little fatty deposits that might still be there. That seems to work a treat. We've never ever had a problem, I don't think, Joe, have we?
No, it's good.
Yeah, so that's that.
Kill any bacteria that's in there. It's a good thing.
And that's all we've ever done. We haven't put any chemicals down there or anything, have we? I don't think we've needed to do anything. That seems to work a treat. Right, the next job is stripping the beds. So I like to pull the sheets off when we've come home, wash them. When they're washed and ready to come back in the camper, I never make the beds be when we pack down. I always do it just before we go away. Now, as a little aside, this tub, whatever you like to call it,
dirty clothes basket,
is our dirty clothes basket, which we take away with us. It sits on the corner of the larger bed and we just throw everything in there. Now, with things like the sheets and tea towels, whatever I have washed and they're ready to go back into the camper for the next trip, I stow everything in here so it's all in one one container. I just grab that, bring it to the camper, and I can repack anything in it.
It collapses down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Like,
does. I'll show you.
collapses
Really
down,
easy.
ties
And
off.
it's got a couple of little tie-offs there.
It's been pretty durable.
Yeah.
We've had that for a while, hey?
Yeah, we got it from IKEA.
Yeah, great little shop.
Yeah, so that is really handy, that one. Now, the next thing I would do is, this is our little pantry cupboard here. Now, as well as storing tins and all sorts of things in there, we usually travel with a lot of herbs and spices. Those that have watched our videos know that we love paprika, and it will often trickle out and there'll be little spills of it in there. So anywhere where food has been, I make sure that is thoroughly wiped out and cleaned. There is nothing worse than having an ant infestation in your camper. Worse still, cockroaches, even worse, little mice. And you don't want to be picking up little mice at home and then taking them on your trip with you.
No.
Not good. So that I do. Now, the other place I store food, and it'll possibly be different in your camper, but I would just say wherever you've stored food, check it. Check your cupboards before you pack down. This cupboard under the sink here, which has got the one little door, but it goes back a long way. And in our inside story video, I talked about that cupboard. Great storage space, but hard to see into. Get yourself a little torch and check what you've put in the cupboards. I'll often find a little random onion in there or a half a loaf of bread. So I make sure I do check that cupboard thoroughly, because they're the sorts of things that your mice and other vermin are going to get into.
Yeah. Even if they're in packets,
Yeah.
they'll chew through there, and yeah, makes a bit of a mess and not very pleasant, eh?
Yeah, definitely. And even tins of food. We just remove everything religiously after each trip, pack it away inside, and then revisit it if we've got any left when we want to go away again. So everything's fresh. It's hot here in southeast Queensland in summer, so the camper's stowed outside. So the less we leave in here, the better, really, Joe, isn't it?
And the great thing about doing that is you always know what you have before you go. You don't have any assumptions.
No guessing.
No guessing, no gotchas that you've forgotten something, or
Yeah.
you've snuck out to the camper and
Yeah.
borrowed something and not put it back.
Yeah, and there are some cooking items, like for us, this is probably the only thing. The morning that we pack up from camping, I stow this away, but it's usually...
What's it called, Lee?
Oh, this is our coffee pot.
A coffee plunger.
Sorry, I'm waffling on and I didn't say what it was. So I'm looking at it now and it is still damp inside. So anything like that that needs to be completely cleaned, dried out, do take it inside and give it a good
wash.
rinse out, let it dry. Anything like that that has to come straight back into the camper, if Joe's packed the camper down, it all gets shoved in there. Anything that's got to come back gets shoved in there. Leading on from that, any supplies that I purchase, Joe, can you? Oh, I can do it. I can open the drawer here. Let's swap
just
about.
hop out the way. Yep.
Cling wrap, foil, that sort of thing, dishwashing supplies, paper towel, toilet paper. I take a good list of all those things. What else do we have? Matches, salt, pepper, insect repellents.
Fire starters.
Yeah, all those things. I make a list and I replenish those. Anything like that that I buy straight away goes into that green dirty clothes bag, so it's all ready to come back into the camper when Joe opens it up again, and I can just start packing. So that is really good. One thing I definitely don't leave in here is olive oil. It goes rancid real fast.
Yep.
Yeah, so anything like that, take it out, take it inside, use it, and buy fresh for your next trip.
Yeah. Just remember, it's always hot. With campers if they're outside.
Yeah, definitely. And that's about it. And the last thing that I do is to sweep and mop the floor so that when Joe opens up again, it's all nice and clean, ready to pack, ready for us to go, and it's all done, all good.
What a great list of girl jobs. Fantastic,
I
Lee.
know.
Thanks for that. So, looks like it's time for the blue jobs.
What? Inside the camper?
Well, there is one job that I need to do inside the camper,
Yeah,
but
there
I'm
is.
just going to show you something that I just find really, really handy. and it's good for Lee as well. And that's this little gadget here. It's just simply a piece of paracord with a toggle on the end of it. Now I've put a little, here we go.
This is one of Joe's MacGyver gadgets. It's
MacGyver
wonderful.
gadgets. I've just put a hook up here and it sits like that. Now, whenever we need to get under the table,
Yeah, we're always crawling under the table.
we can just simply put that toggle in that loop. Boom, it just sits there nicely.
Table's out of our way.
Table's out of the way. Now, my first blue job inside is disconnecting the battery and the solar. Now, I like to make sure that the battery is fully charged. Then I'll just come in here and I'll disconnect firstly the solar panel from the controller. I just have mine on Anderson plugs. It's really quick and easy. Does the job. I'll do something better. And then I just disconnect the controller from the battery. And that saves the battery just percolating away day in, day out, not being loaded. I kind of like to leave it charged like this. It doesn't discharge very much at all. Next time when we're ready to go, I'll hook it all up and within an hour or two it's all fully charged again. So that's number one job inside.
Oh, I thought that was all your boy jobs done, Joe.
No,
Oh, okay.
I wish it was.
Sorry.
All good. Next thing we do a little bit of a check on is the gas. These 8.5 kilo gas bottles, we find that they'll last us about 3 weeks camping, or 15 days or so. Be a little bit more than that, but that's sort of a safety measure. So all we do is each time we go camping, we keep tabs on the number of nights we've been away and we just tally them up. When I get to around 10, 11 nights, I'll actually remove this cylinder and I'll pop it on my barbecue. I'll take the barbecue cylinder to...
That's empty?
It's pretty close to empty it'll be. And we'll get either an exchange or get it filled. Now this little 4 kilo one here, I'll just weigh that before we go away, see how much gas I got. When I'm down to probably, 3/4 of a kilo, I'll go get it filled as well.
How do you weigh it, Joe?
Well, the empty gas cylinder weighs 6 kilos. So you add 4 kilos of gas, that's 10 kilos. So if you subtract 6 from whatever it weighs, that tells you how much gas you got left.
Awesome.
Quick and easy. There's a great little video called 7 Hacks and Hints, and we show you how to do the weighing exercise and that. Worth a look. Now the next thing I always do when we get back is fill up the water tank there. I like to have it full because there's no real chance of the inside of the tank getting mouldy. And before we go away, I'll empty that tank of water, which has been sitting there for a while, and I'll just refill it and we'll have nice fresh water. We've never had a bad taste in our water tank, and I'm pretty sure the fact that you fill it every time when you get back is a big contributor to that. Now finally, it's all the other knickknacks that you have when you go camping. I don't like leaving things in the camper because it makes you assume that everything is there. I'll quite often run over to the camper and borrow something and then I won't put it back. And I just hate to think that I went away on a trip after a 6-hour drive and whatever I needed, I've got it at home because I sort of snuck it out of the camper. We take everything out, chairs, the gas stove, the fire pits, out of there. The gas stove, I actually like to take it away and give it a good clean and stow it away. It's amazing how much fat and stuff sort of accumulates in there, and let's face it, they do go rancid and not very pleasant, so I like to keep them nice and fresh. Speaking of nice and fresh, make sure your porta potty is empty and you've fully cleaned it.
Oh,
Porta
yes.
potties are notorious for giving you really bad surprises if they're forgotten. You've been warned. There's a really good video on the Ultimate Guide to Porta Potties that we did, and I go through the cleaning process of that one there if you're interested.
And we've heard some nasty stories about people who have, or from people I should say, who have left their porta potties sit for a little while, haven't we?
Yes, there's some creatures from the Brown Lagoon form in those porta potties when they're just sitting there.
That's nice.
They usually give you a nice burp when you open them up. So yeah, make sure you clean it. Don't ever forget it. It's not something to put off. Believe me, you'll regret it if you do.
And if you don't do it straight away, you are likely to forget.
That's it. That's it. So whilst we're outside, the canvas and that, we always put the camper up and we leave it up for quite a bit of time. I won't drop this down till late in the afternoon where it's been out in the sun all day and I'm confident that there's no more dampness in there. The main thing that causes mould, and you'll always get mould, like this poor old camper's a few years old and we've got little spots on there and that. But if you want to keep them at bay, make sure that your camper's always dry. And in particular, when you lower it down, because what happens is all this canvas then goes on top of your bed. And if you're not careful, you're going to wet your bed and that'll become mouldy as well. Not a good thing. So put it up, leave it up, make sure it's dry the whole day before you put it down, and you'll be in pretty good shape. We've not had a problem. It sort of certainly works for us. I even do that with the camp shower. I'll open the camp shower up, leave it out in the sun all day, and then we'll fold it up, and it's always smelling sweet. Nothing like having a shower in a mouldy smelling shower tent. Not a good thing.
No.
And then all that's left is to drop it down and we stow it away under a cover.
Right, well, we're nearly done now with all the little pack-up jobs.
Yep.
We've got to just stow our camper ready for the next trip, cover it up.
Give it a bit of protection, huh?
We do. We used to keep our camper in our garage, so it was nicely protected there, but then we bought a new four-wheel drive and we thought it maybe needed priority in the garage. So Joe had to do some research about what we were going to do.
Yeah, we've got a good little spot here next to the house. It's level ground, it's on a concrete pad, so that side of it was pretty good. But we needed to cover it. And I did a bit of research and basically don't throw a tarp over your camper, anything waterproof straight over your camper, because all it's going to do is harbour moisture. If you think about it, when you're sitting on wet cement with steam coming up, it's just going to trap all the moisture in there and you're going to get sort of mouldy walls and things like that. So a tarp's not really a solution. I did a bit of research and we found this little jobbity here, which we purchased about 2 years ago. It's a Cammac cover. It's designed to cover campers from 3.7 to 4.3 metres in length, which really suits this camper here. It's large enough to actually cover the gas cylinders, which is kind of nice. And we're going to cover her up and give you a look at it. First thing I do is the leads. I actually shove them up here. They're going to be covered by the cover. And the cover's really good. You can just scrunch it in the bag when you're not using it and it comes out and goes on quite easily. So here we go. Let's work up a sweat on this very hot winter's day here where it's hitting nearly 30 degrees.
Or more.
Or more in southeast Queensland. Pretty easy.
This is the hardest part, getting it out.
Yeah, pretty much, eh? It's in pretty good shape for 2 years, and a 3-year warranty of them. I was pretty impressed. Yeah, you can shove that away. Now,
this is the fiddly part.
This is the tricky part. We've got to make sure we grab an end. That's the inside. There we go. Okay, I'm going to walk forward. Lee's got no idea what I'm doing here, so she
No,
just stands
I'm
there
just standing there.
and just looks at me.
There we go.
Okay, there's the end of it there. That's what we want at the front. Sorry folks, I should have turned the camera around. All right, so what we're going to do here is find the other end. To me, there it is.
Okay. It's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It is. Okay. So what we're looking for is this word Kamek, which is on the front there,
Which goes at the back.
which goes at the back and the front.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is pretty simple. We're just up and over.
And take your time.
Now, remember to stop as soon as you feel any resistance. Stop. If you keep pulling it, you're just as likely to tear the thing if you're a little bit strong-willed. Go a little bit further. Make sure you're not catching your,
Yeah, it is now.
your solar panels and things like that. Basically. Okay, we just pull it over the gas cylinders, tuck it under the pole carrier. That's it, and then there's some little straps. Grab that
There
one.
you go.
We've been in some pretty decent storms and nothing's ever blown off, but that's how it goes. Let's see. Now, I'm just going to take the camera over and show you a couple little things. Now the material on this is waterproof on the top, but on the side it's a breathable synthetic fabric, and there's air vents up the top and they're meshed. So if you tie this on, I'm probably giving you an earthquake there, if you tie this on securely it'll keep vermin out and everything, so quite a good cover. And we've been, like I said, we've been using it for 2 years now, and no surprises when we've lifted the cover off. So I recommend them. They cost about $280 on recommended retail price, but I have seen them for sale, on sale I should say, for about $200. So
Yeah.
grab a bargain if you can.
Yeah.
If you don't have a covered location for your camper, I really would recommend one of these Kamek covers. They seem to be
good.
what they advertise. Highly recommended. Okay, all packed up there, but one last topic before we finish up, and that's sort of security. A lot of people are worried about their campers being stolen, and I've sort of seen quite a few examples of the campers going missing overnight. These thefts are usually a theft of opportunity. The thieves will see a camper just sitting there. They'll come back when it's quiet, and they'll just sneak in, reverse in, hitch up and take off. If you do a couple of things, you'll greatly diminish the accessibility of your camper. What I do, all my 4 legs are down and tight on the ground, and I have one other little device, this one here. It's a coupling lock. This one's made by Alco. You can actually pick them up at Bunnings, funny enough. And this is how it works. Okay, we put this ball part on the coupling hitch and drop it down so it's held. Then this U-bolt actually locks the ball part on. Now I'm just going to turn the key so that it's in locking mode, and as I drop it on you should hear a couple of clicks. Yep, and that's not going to come off, and you just can't get at the coupler, so this defeats a will-be thief from taking it. Sure, they can get a pair of bolt cutters on there, big pair of bolt cutters, and cut through that, or they can get an angle grinder, but it all takes time, and with a bit of luck it's just too much for them to bother with it. They'll look for an easier target. I hope that gives you a couple of ideas anyway.
Well, that's the blue job's done and the pink job's done.
We hope you find these packing and storage tips useful. It helps you keep your camper in good condition, ready for your next trip.
They work really well for us, and we do these each and every time. Also, if you've got some really good tips for packing up and stowing away that you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments for the other viewers to see. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to give us a like, or if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do so. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
See you next time, folks.